All right, B. Slade. As promised in the last break about 10 minutes ago, we stated that we would have rock royalty in the studio with us today, and we are very happy and very thankful to sit down with none other than Janet Gardner. You may remember Janet as the lead singer from Vixen, but she is now out on her own and doing things with her husband, Justin James, and she is here now. Janet, welcome to the show. How are you?
Ooh, I'm good, and you just called me rock royalty. So,
you are. You're one of the queens of rock and roll. I mean, you've been
wow.
you've been doing it for a long time now.
Oh yeah, we won't talk about that. Oh.
Uh-huh. Well, I tell you what, since we started with that, why don't we take the listeners on a little bit of a ride on the Wayback Machine, go back to how it all started for you briefly, and then we'll come full circle into the future and talk about all your projects for right now. How's that sound?
That sounds great.
All right, tell us how it all started with Vixen. I'll let you talk.
I was, I grew up in Montana. I moved to California. I want to make this short. I know people are going to be like falling asleep. So,
No.
I was in a bunch of different bands out in Southern California. Somebody saw me, introduced me to Vixen. And from then, we just played the Sunset Strip a lot. We went on the road a lot, worked our butts off, and finally got signed. And we were off and running and had an amazing time in the late 80s, early 90s.
I'll bet you did. I loved your videos, by the way.
Thank you. I never have loved doing videos, but they definitely were a means to get your music out there. So MTV definitely helped us, for sure.
Oh, I'm sure. I remember.
Yeah, getting those videos up there definitely sparked a lot of album sales back then. So we were lucky to have that as a sort of a promotional boost.
Yeah, it was a very good time. I was actually the 7 to midnight guy at a place called 96 Rock in Ocean City, Maryland. And obviously I remember, playing Edge of a Broken Heart for the very first time. And you guys also came, if you remember, to a little place called Salisbury, Maryland, about 30 minutes in from the beach. And I believe you opened for Eddie Money, maybe?
Yeah.
Do you recall that show?
Yeah, that was like our first, like right after we released our first album, that was our first major tour. It was kind of a weird match.
Yes.
But it worked. And, I got to get up with Eddie Money every night and sing with him, which was fun.
Right.
Yeah, so that was, memories are flooding back now.
No, I hear you. I just, again, they were good times. I was very young at the time as well. It was my first radio gig. I was the full-time 7 to midnight guy, 5-6 nights a week, and broke a lot of bands. Obviously, the Guns N' Roses, I'm saying break. Bon Jovi was already around, but I believe me, I distinctly remember Vixen, boom, all of a sudden there in heavy rotation. A lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, thanks for supporting us way back when.
No problem.
All the way to today.
Sounds real good. Well, listen, let's kind of bring it full circle and talk about what have you been doing over the last couple of years? What are you doing with Justin? I'll let you talk.
Well, Justin and I started working together. Our first album came out in 2017, but that was just under like my solo name. So that was my first solo album. We followed that with another solo album called Your Place in the Sun.
Okay, yeah.
And we're just going full tilt here. We have been nonstop writing and recording. So then we came out with Synergy under the name Gardner James as a duo, and that was a couple of years ago. We actually recorded that during the pandemic, and that song Wounded that you were talking about, that came off that album.
Okay.
And that's gotten some great attention. And now, I think it's been out for about a month, we just released No Strings.
That's great.
And it's our latest, and of course, we're very proud of it. We think it's our best album yet. But you always want to think that.
Of course. It's my best work to date.
Exactly. You always raise the bar a little bit. So hopefully we were able to do that. And Yeah, it's doing really good. We have 3 videos on YouTube that are kind of still moving.
Very
Still getting
cool.
a lot of views, and it's available on Spotify. You can buy a physical copy. Yes, a physical copy on Amazon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now,
So,
is that CD or is that vinyl also?
no vinyl.
I gotcha.
It's very expensive to do vinyl, and unless you're sure your fans are going to gobble it up,
Right.
it's not really wise to do it. So we've kind of held off on that. But I would love to do a vinyl, and I still think CDs sound better than streaming.
Yeah.
They do. They come from WAV files. MP4s, they always just smash it. MP3s,
Right.
they smash them, so they don't sound as good. Like, I love listening to our latest on an actual CD, and the only place to do that is in Justin's car now.
Right.
So I don't even have a CD player in my car.
Right. I'm with you. I know.
Yeah.
It's interesting. And the reason I asked, we've done quite a few interviews over the last 2-3 years since we've been doing this. And a few of the artists, like yourself, have said, we're also pressing it on vinyl. We're only doing like a limited run of 200 copies or 500 copies. But I've noticed that it's started to it's come back around a little bit, is why I asked.
Yeah, I think, people, unless you're sure that there's a good demand for it, it's, like I said, it's an expensive process to cut vinyl.
Absolutely.
So, it's kind of like, I would love to do it, but I don't think it's going to happen this time. But we'll see. You never know.
I hear you. Well, listen, on that note, I think it's time for our listeners to hear Gardner James. What do you think?
Oh, I think that would be spectacular.
What's the first one you want to roll?
Oh, let's go with I'm Living Free. It's the opener on the album, on the CD. So let's go with that.
Sitting down with Janet Gardner, lead singer and founder of Gardner James. This is I'm Living Free at 97underground.com, Baltimore's Pure Rock, worldwide.
If I told you that the sky was blue, you'd try to tell me it's red. Don't need to bother to defend myself from crazy things that you said. Nobody wins at this game, so I'm not playing. You tried to push my head, so I'm not staying. I'm living free, free to be me. You try to push, but I ain't gonna fall.
MTM145.com, Baltimore's Pure Rock, worldwide, the station your mother warned you about, and a brand new jam called I'm Living Free. The artist, Gardner James, features Janet Gardner on lead vocals. At one time, you may recall, lead singer of a little-known band called Vixen back in the late 80s and early 90s. And Janet was kind enough to sit down with us today. Janet, welcome back into the studio.
Thanks. So good to be here.
Great song. You want to talk about how that came about and how you and Justin came up with that jam?
Well, Justin had written that kind of bluesy riff quite a while ago. It was actually when we were doing towards the end of Synergy, and we never finished it. So we were just kind of listening through some ideas, and one day that came up and it just hit me. It was like, ooh, let's work on this.
Cool.
So we just wanted it to be something empowering. You know, people just live free. Don't be constrained by anything, by people trying to keep you down.
No doubt. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I concur with that statement.
That was our co-host, Byron Slade. And I did need to ask, let's go back and talk about how you and Justin got together.
Okay, well, at the time we met, I was living in Connecticut, and he was living here in the Chicago area, which we live now.
Okay.
And we met here in Chicago, the Chicago area. I was playing a show with Vixen, and his friend was tour managing for Lita Ford, and we were playing with Lita Ford. So he was backstage, and we just talked a little bit, but we were both kind of chicken, so we didn't really know each other very well. And then, as luck would have it, about a year later, we were playing another show in this area. We were playing a farm rock show. It was like an outdoor festival. And lo and behold, who was there? Justin was there. And I remembered him. So then we started talking more. We got to know each other a little better. And then we started corresponding. And then at one point, we were like, okay, we need to meet up somewhere. So we decided to go to Cape Cod for a weekend. And we were both really nervous because we were just friends. We know each other that well.
Right.
So I had all these plans. Like, I knew he liked IPA beers, like craft beers. So it's like, oh, there's breweries. So I had all these things in mind that if, it wasn't really the chemistry that we thought it was.
Right.
We have a lot of things to just do as friends and, keep ourselves busy. But as it turned out, sparks flew. It was all good.
That's awesome.
We kept getting together any chance that we could. We would meet halfway. We met in Detroit once. He came to Connecticut. I came out here to the Chicago area. So we were spending a lot of time traveling, and we finally ended up in Vegas, and we got married.
Wow.
Everybody was like, what? You guys actually got married in Vegas? We're like, yep, we did it.
That is really cool. Well, tell Justin I can concur with that as well, because if I had met Janet Gardner, I'd be chicken too.
we were both like a little 15-year-olds who like looking at the floor and hi.
Yeah, you know what? That's so cool though. That's a great story. So when did it become apparent that, obviously the sparks flew, so now you're kind of, want to, just a man-woman thing, you're together now. When did it become apparent that, hey, man, let's rock and roll and, do what we do, in our professional lives together? How'd that come together?
Well, that was really scary. And we Justin moved to Connecticut. We bought a house together and we set up a studio. And it was basically for, Justin is a great engineer and producer. So he was going to just work on his stuff, and I was going to work on stuff for Vixen. So we did that for a while. He worked down there, and then I'd go work on stuff. And one day he was playing a riff, and I just dug it. So I just kind of pushed my way in the door and kind of said, he's playing, I love it. And then so I picked up a guitar, and I started playing, and pretty soon, like about half an hour later, we had a song done. And it was like, from then on, it was nonstop.
That's cool.
It was like popping a cork off the champagne bottle, and we exploded. So, yeah, before we knew it, a couple months later, we had a full album ready to go.
That's fantastic. Well, I tell you what, you've got me thinking it's time to hear yet another jam from the brand new one called No Strings. What do you say we do 85?
That sounds great. I was just going to say that. You read my mind.
Tell me a little bit about the song, and then I'll go into it for you.
Well, obviously the lyrics were written by me because Justin was very young in 1985.
Right.
But so it's mostly my memories of like the early days of Vixen before we were signed and before everything was, up and running, and we had nothing. We had a house with crappy furniture and a few guitars, and that's all we needed. We just were having a blast.
Very cool.
And so that's what it's about.
Let's hear it right now. Sitting down with Janet Gardner, lead singer from the duo Gardner James. This one from No Strings, simply called 85. It's the only on the Muay Thai Metal Show at 97underground.com, Baltimore's pure rock worldwide.
Young and so naive, in a blissful
87underground.com, Baltimore's pure rock worldwide. From the CD No Strings, another brand spanking new one from the band Gardner James, featuring Janet Gardner on lead vocals. That one is simply called 85, and she is in the studio with us. Janet, let's talk again about what's going on with Gardner James. How about tour dates? You guys going to be out on the road at all?
Well, we're not really going on the road. We are playing some shows. We're weekend warriors at this point.
I gotcha.
So, yeah, we have some cool stuff coming up. We're doing a couple acoustic shows, which we at first resisted. We didn't really want to do it. But once we dove into it and started doing different type of arrangements with just the two of us playing acoustics, all of a sudden it was kind of magical. So we were like, okay. So we told our agent, go ahead, book some acoustic stuff. So we're doing one here in this area in like Island Lake with Sebastian Bach and Quiet Riot.
No kidding.
Yeah, so that'll be an outdoor thing. That's pretty cool. And then we are coming to the East Coast, like up in the Buffalo area. There's a casino up there.
Yes.
We're playing with Firehouse.
Okay.
We're opening for them acoustically, so that'll be really good. And then we're doing the Northeastern Rock Festival in Norwalk, Connecticut. I can't remember the date on that, but you can always go to janetgardnermusic.com and get all our dates.
All right, you just answered my next question. Thank you for doing that.
I can't remember them all, but, you know, we have a few from now until the end of the year. And then next year, of course, we're talking about some different, maybe a little more of a tour situation, like actually play like a couple months worth of dates, steady dates.
I gotcha.
So we'll see if that happens. But yeah, from now till the end of the year, we got a good string of dates. And I wanted to talk about one more thing.
Yeah, go for it. It's your time. We're happy to have you here, and whatever you want to chat about.
Paramount Plus.
Okay.
There's a documentary called "I Want to Rock," the '80s metal dream. You guys got to see it. Everybody should tune in. Paramount Plus. I Want to Rock. It's a very cool 3-part docuseries. It has Snake Sabo, Kip Winger, Dee Schneider.
No kidding.
Me, and there's some other people. Oh, Tammy Downs from Faster Pussycat.
Yeah, Faster Pussycat.
A bunch of cool people, and it kind of dives into our journey. And there's stuff, I've known these guys for years, and there was stuff in there that was like, what? I didn't know that happened. So it's very, it definitely is a little deeper dive. It's not as much of the debauchery and partying and all the things that, the decadence of that era. It's a lot more personal stories, and it's very cool. So check it out.
All right, and again, Paramount Plus, right?
Yep.
All right, three-part docudrama, and it's called "I Want to Rock," like the Twisted Sister song.
Yep, exactly.
That's awesome, and you named all those names like Dave the Snake Sabo and Sebastian Bach, and I know you guys travel in those circles, and it's so cool to hear those stories. But I gotta ask, have you ever hung out with CC DeVille from Poison?
Yeah, of course. We rehearsed in the same rehearsal studio as them, and we played like one of the MTV New Year's bashes. We played with them. So, yeah, we know them a little bit. That's
cool. No, we love CC here, and it's actually kind of a little bit, I don't want to say it's a joke, but it's a little running thing, and it's interesting the
it's
answers.
Like roasting the artist.
Yeah, it's we've just always got a kick out of them, and everybody's seen the behind the music and that kind of thing, but it's interesting the answers you get from certain people. Rudy Zarzo paused and said, "Yes, but I can't tell you about it." Your ex-bandmate, Roxy Petrucci, said, "Yes, but I couldn't understand a word he was saying." And I also asked, who we asked? Todd,
Todd Kearns.
Yeah, I asked Todd Kearns, and he actually said, "No, but from what you're telling me, I probably should have."
We've asked a few other people.
It's good stuff.
He's got that thick New York kind of accent.
Yeah,
and then It's like he's always on speed.
Yes, he
Well,
is.
in translation.
It's all right, B Slade. It's all good. And while we're talking to Janet, let's jump back, though, because I do want to wrap up on what is next for Gardner James. Where are we going with this, Janet? Talk to me.
Well, we have a recording studio in our house.
Nice.
So it's hard to keep us out of there, to be perfectly honest.
That's
It's
cool.
like we need to take a break and recharge the creative batteries, but it never lasts longer than a couple of weeks, and we're back down there. So we've already got a couple ideas for the future. And we'll always be trying to raise the bar, making it sound better, making the songs better, getting a little deeper on the lyrics. We're always just, trying to grow, and that's what we'll continue to do.
That is really cool. That is cool. Well, Janet, we are just about out of time, so we're about to say goodbye. But before we do, we should do one more song. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. Let's go back a ways, though. Let's go back to Synergy.
You want to pull something off of Synergy? Well, you tell me which one you want to do.
Let's hear Wounded.
Right here on the Muay Thai Metal Show, it's Janet Gardner, lead singer from Gardner James at 97underground.com, Baltimore's Pure Rock Worldwide.